Alright, today we're having a look at A Maze in a Bunker 10th Anniversary by Will 26571. Alright, so here we are in A Maze in a Bunker 10th Anniversary by Will 26571, and it looks very bunkery. It tells us on the level select page that this is a remake of Will's first level in... I wonder if we needed to... I guess we did need to do that. It's kind of weird the way that it's set up, that you would have to go so far ahead only to learn that you would have to backtrack so far behind. But anyway, the title select page tells us that this is a remake of... Do I want these keys? Probably not. A remake of Will's very first level in LBP 1, remade to play a little bit better, and I think that is neat. Returning to old ideas and trying to do them better than we first accomplished them is, sometimes that can... I don't know where I'm supposed to go, though. That is kind of getting me. Sometimes can lead to some really interesting results. Sometimes we find things that we did back in the before that actually worked out pretty well, that we've maybe left behind over time. Am I supposed to go? Well, I don't know. Oh, fudge. That was me, I guess. I kind of brushed up against that. But anyways, it's a little bit, like, things are a bit wider than I think they need to be, considering where the cameras are. Every now and then you get kind of bits of yourself cut off, like cut off screen. I guess? See, I do kind of, like, I want a little bit more direction as to, like, why we would go in one area than we would another. Like, I guess I'm going the right way. I'm not sure. I'm also a little bit concerned that there doesn't seem to be anyone else on the scoreboard, because there's no name that's showing up, like, in the score prize, the score bubble bit up on top, which makes it feel like no one's beaten this yet. It's only been up for like 7 hours though, so that might have something to do with it. It does have 13 plays. Now that could have been dangerous, but see, this is closed. This is closed, so there must be some other thing that we're supposed to trigger that we did in fact not trigger. So now we're gonna have to do this backtracking, and I don't know how I feel about that. Or maybe, is it up here? Can I even make this jump? Yes, I can, but it's really close. I've played enough... Oh, fudge! Gosh darn it. Well, I guess we're just gonna get to this checkpoint, and then we're gonna talk about this back at the hub, but we'll see you there. See yas! And we're back! An A Maze in a Bunker by Will 26571, and I'd say it's an orange diamond. If I'm gonna be completely honest, it's an orange diamond. I had hoped to end the year on something a little bit more positive, but it is what it is. It's an interesting level. It's a fun adjacent level, and it's definitely an improvement on the original. This is the 10th anniversary edition, as the title screen tells us. It is an improvement, but it's got issues to get into. And to kind of start off on that upgrade, the 10th anniversary upgrade, and it is definitely a step up. The LBP 1 version, now some of these issues, it might just be because of playing an LBP 1 level in LBP 3, but like it's a really tough and frustrating level. It's extremely drab. You've got enemies that don't work. In some cases, like the enemy brain has fallen off, but the enemy is still alive. I don't know how that happened exactly, but so it just basically is kind of a moving hazard that you can't really deal with. Because it's LBP 1, there's like it's fairly limited in the ways that you can move around the level and you can interact with the level, and the checkpoints are extremely sparse, and all of those issues I do feel like Will has improved in those areas. The enemies are all existent for one thing, and some of them have been swapped out. In the original level, that they're straight, enemies that are from the collected objects. But in this level, you've got some of Will's own design enemies, and you've got some palette swaps on the collected object enemies that I thought was kind of neat. So that's a good step. As far as the presentation of it, and it has improved, but I wouldn't say that it's improved enough. Now, there is a little bit more material that's used in the level to give it a little bit of a different feel, especially towards the very end of the level. The last section of the level is very different in appearance from what you see in the beginning of the level. You've got some like thin material things that are kind of breaking up the image, so it's not like just swaths of rectangular materials, but you've got like a little bit of stuff going on in there that does help. But even at the same, like, there just isn't really enough in the visual field to catch your eye and to give you something to kind of take home visually from the level, and that is a bit of an issue. Now, the level is, it tells us right on the tin that it's a maze, and I do understand that mazes require a little bit more in the memory department than I have. My memory is well known for not being particularly great, and like a maze wouldn't necessarily want to make it too easy to navigate by making it like each area really different. You do want a certain amount of sameness in the areas to be a little bit confusing to the players, but I feel like that this one just goes too far in that direction. Some more decoration, some more stickers, just to give the players kind of something to track, something to keep their eyes on. Now, one thing that I did feel was an improvement from the first time that I played the level. I don't know if this is because maybe I was just a little bit more familiar with the layout of the level, or I was paying a little bit more attention perhaps, but I did find that the magic mouth cuts to show you what had been changed when you threw certain switches, which was something that was done quite commonly in LBP1 and is in actually the LBP1 version of this level. I did find them to be a little bit easier to read this time around and to kind of grok what information that Will was trying to tell me, so I didn't feel quite as lost as I did the first time through. We noticed when I was playing in the in the first impression section, and a number of times I was saying, like, I just don't know where to go, and I'm kind of getting like a little bit of paralysis as to, should I go left, should I go right, have I been here before, have I not been here before? So paying a little bit closer attention did help with that, and I did appreciate that. Now, another thing, I said that the checkpoints had been improved, and they have after a fashion. There are definitely more checkpoints in this level, so you're not doing quite as much backtracking as you had to do in the original version of the level, the LBP1 version of the level, and that's great, but you still do, there's still a fair amount of backtracking that you can need to do if you die, and that's a little, it does kind of start to grate a little bit. But what I find is a bit of a bigger issue here is that the checkpoints are a mixture of infinite life checkpoints and double life checkpoints, and I don't know why that decision was made in particular. Like, to me it seems like if you're going to put infinite life checkpoints at any place in the level, you might as well just put them in entirety of the level. I know that it's kind of recommended in the tutorials you use them in particularly difficult sections, but like, why would you make just that one section infinite life? And here, sometimes they are in front of difficult sections, and then sometimes you'll have a really tough section. It was kind of strange because I saw this section the second time I played through, and then I didn't run into it the fourth time I played through, which was the time I actually completed the level. You've got this like really fiddly spike bit where you're going through like one layer, and then you've kind of got to wrap around and go through the back layer, and there's spikes back there that you're jumping in between as well, and you've got this one last bit where like you kind of got to fall on a diagonal so that you miss one spike and you don't hit the one that's on the right in the upper section. And it's tricky. It's not doable. And that's something I do want to say, that there's nothing in this level that I think is beyond most players' skill level, but it is definitely tricky. And I ended up actually, dying completely there. And I kind of felt like, and at that playthrough I was already at like the 22-minute point with that playthrough, and I was just like, I gotta do all that over again. And I knew I was going to, because I needed to record it for the archive, as well as to get B-roll footage for our pips. But like, it just was very enervating to have this big, bulky, chunky level that I found personally to be fairly confusing to traverse, because again, it's a maze. And then to die out of the level, if I hadn't been doing this show, if I was just playing this level like I was just playing for fun, and I just came across this level and I died in that section, then I wouldn't have come back. I honestly would not have been motivated to come back, and that's kind of a problem. So it's like, why not just make all the checkpoints infinite life? It seems like it's gonna at least keep players, more likely to keep players in the level, so they don't have that, do I really want to go back into it, question in their minds. There was one section in the end that was a little bit weird and frustrating, not in the end, but kind of like in the lead up to the end, where you've got to go across this like 4-pillar gap section. You got like 4 pillars, 4 gaps, and there are blocks that are being emitted onto those pillars, and you're supposed to like jump on one block, and then as that's disappearing, you want to jump on the next one and then go over and across. And it's kind of a standard hazard in and of itself. It's not like really a bad hazard, and there's an infinite life checkpoint, so that's good. But the timing on the blocks is not regular. It's not like block number 1 is 1, 2, 3, and on 3 block number 2 appears. They're almost kind of like, they feel randomized or desynced, so it's really hard to figure out like, when are you supposed to jump so that there's actually going to be a block there beneath you when you land. So that was kind of a bit of a thing. But you get through that section, and then you're in the last section, which is at least visually is the poppiest section of it, where it's using like a lot of like a fuchsia material, which is really nice after the drab like concrete and blue wood material that we see earlier on in the level. And it's not supremely difficult. It's navigable. It's easy, not easy to get through, but it's easy enough to get through. But then you get to the very end, and it's like there's Will's sticker, and they say, hey, thank you for playing the level, and you go down this slope, and you figure, oh, this is going to take me to the checkpoint. And it's actually kind of like a bit of a looping deal, where you hop up off of one slope, and then you go down on the next one. They're all glass, so you're sliding. You get to the last one, and it slides you up, and you miss the checkpoint. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to land on a little bit of material that's on the bottom of the pillar that the checkpoint is on, and then that'll get you to a wormhole that'll take you to the actual checkpoint. The issue is that you can miss that material, especially if you don't know that you're supposed to be kind of aiming for it and working the air controls. If you're just leaving your hand off the D stick and letting momentum take you, you can miss that. And it's a bit of a hike to get from the last checkpoint to that section. Again, it's not like you can't get back to it. The section in front of it, you've got a couple of these rolling grabby bits over some electrical material, but that's an infinite life checkpoint too, so it's not really like a big deal. But it's annoying. It's like, why did you set it up so that people could die like right at the end, and then make them go through all of that again? There are choices in this level. Choices were made in this level. Now, I like Will26571 as a creator a lot. I've played a number of their levels. Some of them are very tricky puzzler style levels. You've got a lot of usage of like physical physical puzzles where you've got to like move bits yourself to get through the levels, and a really nice presentation aesthetic in a lot of Will's levels that I appreciate. I feel like Will kind of hamstrung themselves in trying to stick a little bit too closely to the original format of the level in the LBP1 era, instead of maybe making it a little bit more visually interesting, bringing it up. All bounce pads were great, and there's some climbing in there that does help, but I think to bring it more a little bit in line with his later levels and what they've been doing more recently would have probably been a good idea. I've talked a lot about this level. Will, I did have a good time, and I do appreciate the level, even if it didn't quite click for me, and even if I don't really think that I'll be coming back to it, at least I did have my fun with it. So thank you for the hard work that you put into it. Now, this is our last episode of 2022. We're doing it in this dank cave because 2022 feels very much like it's been a continuing dank cave since 2020. Folks, it's been a hard year for me, and I imagine it's probably been a hard year for some of you. I want to thank all of you so much for any of the support that you've given me. It's meant a lot. It's meant so much, and it's made this series so much fun to do, and it's made being in this community so much fun for me, and I appreciate it, and I wish all of you the best 2023 that you could possibly hope for, and better than that, because I have a feeling that all of our hopes are probably kind of low at this point, and we deserve a lot more. We deserve a lot better. So hopefully this year is gonna be a better year, and let's work together to make it one. But that does do it. I've talked so much. I'm so sorry. That does do it for us here, This Go About. So from me, Isko, here in Tokyo, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you, arigato, arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.